Sin City was racing, and the unthinkable has happened, as well as controversy in Sin City as well. That's all coming up on Post-Checkered Flag. What's up, everyone? Mike here, and yep, the bangs are gone. Finally went to a barber, finally. Welcome to this week's edition of Post-Checkered Flag. I am your host, Mike from LA1. Today we're going to be talking about the races in Las Vegas. We are less than 48 hours away from truck racing, so let's not waste any time. Let's talk about the Camping World Truck Series. Alright, everyone. It is time now to go over the top 10 for the bucked up 200, pardon my language. The bucked up 200 at Las Vegas. Here we go. In 10th place, he actually didn't win. I'm really pleased about this. It is Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes. In 9th place, another Thor sports car, only this time it is Christian Eckes. In 7th, we have Parker Klingerman. In the 9, if I can find it. Okay, it's not here. Yeah, Parker Klingerman in the 75. Oh, 7 is the aforementioned. And finishing in 7th is the aforementioned Grant Enfinger. In 6th place, Zane Smith. In 5th place, his second straight top 5, Matt Crafton. In 4th place, and I am kind of surprised, but then again I shouldn't be, Stuart Friesen. In 3rd place, possible playoff contender Austin Hill. And in 2nd place, and we'll get to this guy in a second, Kyle Busch. And in 1st place, from Kyle Busch Motorsports, and I am glad to see this, John Hunter Nemechek is your winner of the Bucked Up 200. Boy, a dominating performance in the 4 car by John Hunter Nemechek. And now I want to talk about, and I just realized I forgot to say something. Boy, he definitely earned this victory, and he may very well be the second driver for 2311 Racing next season if they decide to expand for the 2022 season. Now let's talk about some of the top performers in this season. And speaking of talking about drivers, Raphael, what are you doing? You can't finish 30th in this. You can't finish 30th and all this. Dude, you're in a really good car at GMS, and now you're crashing out. Dude, hopefully you shake it up. You're lucky the season's still going on. And I should mention, thoughts and prayers go out to Connor Daly after that terrifying crash. Terrifying crash. As for David Gilliland in the 17, speaking of the 17, we have to talk about Hallie Deegan. She struggled, as I expected, finishing 28th, but for a while she was hanging in there pretty good. But with all the, this is, like I said, this is the learning year. I think by next season, I think she'll probably get some competition, but right now, this is the season for her to learn in her first full year in the Truck Series. Overall, a pretty disappointing finish, but for all the Deegan fans, sit back and trust the process. Now, let's talk about the controversy. Kyle Busch, the guy who finished second, and if you guys saw the race, Kyle spun, and he still got a second place finish. And Kyle started in 29th, so still a pretty good day for his standards. But there was a controversy with the spin out that it may have been, he might have spun himself out intentionally. Even though Bob Pockris brought this up, he said no, he didn't spin on purpose. But then again, no driver would admit it unless they want to face the fine. Bubba Wallace did this, and he got a $50,000 fine for it. So, alright, so now let's talk about the truck standings. Alright, here we go. Alright, in first place, and I am very happy to see, again, I'm surprisingly so, is John Hunter Nemechek. In second place, Ben Rhodes with 136, Nemechek at 150. Not that far from, at 115 is Sheldon Creed, the top GMS driver. 5 points behind him, Matt Crafton. And in fifth place with 90 points is Chandler Smith. If I can find a damn 18 car. Oh, there we go. 10 points behind him is Stuart Friesen. And it was just announced that his wife is going to try to qualify for the Bristol Dirt Truck Race, which this ought to be making him the first husband and wife to race in the trucks. And the first one in a long time. I think the last one was like 93, I think. Let me know if I got it wrong in the comments. So, yeah. In seventh place with 71 is Grant Enfinger. And Todd Gilliland is in 8th with 69 points. Also, that was a tie. And also with 69 points is Johnny Sauter. And in 10th place with 68 by 1 point. It is Carson Akviar. There we go. Now, let's get ready for the Xfinity. Let's talk about the top 10 for the Osco Uniforms 300 at Las Vegas. In 10th place, it is Jeb Burton. And in 9th place, it's Harrison Burton. In 8th place, Justin Haley. And it's 7th place, it is Josh Berry. Whew, way to go, man. In 6th place, Michael Annette. Boy, glad to see him picking up. And speaking of players recovering from heartbreak, in 5th place, and I knew this guy had to come out strong, Noah Gragson. In 4th place, Austin Cindric. In third place, it is the highest is Brandon Jones. And in second place, coming up oh so close yet again, Daniel Hemrick. And in first place, AJ Allmendinger. Whew. And thankfully, as far as I'm aware of, this is the first time that Colleague Racing has all their cars in the top 10. It happened at Daytona last year, only to get disqualified for failing post race. So let's talk about some of the big finishers. Josh Berry, man, whew, man. I mean, Junior Motorsports, boy, great comeback here. And again, another solid finish for Brandon Brown, man. Jeez. Hopefully Brandon Built Motorsports can figure out a way to get their cars to get into victory here. And Santino Ferrucci. Second Cup race, top 15. Finishing 13th. Very well done for him. Very well done for him, for Santino Ferrucci. And and if anyone's wondering, Riley Herbst, yep, finished dead last because of an accident. So at least he has a legitimate excuse. At least he had a legitimate excuse this time. Yeah, Matt Mills had an electrical issue, and Ryan Sieg had accident. Timmy Hill had an engine, blew an engine, and Stephen Parsons had a fuel line issue, and Alex Lobb and Brett Moffitt were in an accident. Now let's talk about the points. All right, let's talk about the Xfinity points so far. In first place with 191 points, Austin Cindric. In second place with 170, Daniel Hemrick. Third place with 140, Brandon Jones. In fourth place with 133, Jeff Burton. And in fifth place with the 128 is his teammate, Justin Haley. In sixth place with the win with 126 for some reason, AJ Allmendinger. In seventh place with 123, it's Myatt Snyder. And in eighth place with 120, it's Harrison Burton. In ninth place, in the 51, it's Jeremy Clements. And in 10th, with 103, it is Brandon Brown. All right, next up, the results of the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to look over the top 10 as well as my notes on the Pennzoil 400 in Las Vegas. In 10th place, and a really strong showing from this guy, it is Eric Jones. Alright, I guess it'll be Eric Jones. In 9th place, it is Joey Logano. And 8th, it is William Byron. Good to see him continuing his pretty good start. In 7th place, it is Christopher Bell. In 6th place, Wait, what the? I'll be right back. Sorry about that. In sixth place, it is Martin Truex Jr. In fifth place, Ryan Blaney. So it's good to see one of the Pennzoil cars finishing in the top 5. In fourth place, Denny Hamlin. In third place, it's the rowdy one, Kyle Busch. And no spin out isn't needed this time. In second place, it is Brad Keselowski. And in first place, the winner of the Pennzoil 400. Oh my God. Never thought I would say this again. Kyle Larson. In just his fourth start, and thanks to Mike Joy, the fastest first win for Hendrick in ever. In just his fourth start, he got his first win. And I'm happy for him, Cliff Daniels, and to all the this was formerly Jimmy's team. And they haven't been in victory lane since 2017. That's insane. So yep, this win was ahead of schedule in my eyes, because I thought he was gonna win at the Bristol dirt race. But now with all these drivers trying out for dirt races, that race is pretty much definitely the definition of a wild card race. So sorry Talladega playoff race. The Bristol dirt race is a true wild card here. Now let's talk about some of the notes. Okay, so the first big note I want to talk about is Eric Almirola. Boy, saying that this guy has a slow start is a massive understatement. In fact, all the Stewart-Haas guys are off to slow starts. What is going on here? Hopefully things pick up soon. I have to say that. And this next one in 37th, yeah, Almirola finished dead last. Now this one hurts. Corey LaJoie. And since Corey LaJoie's crew chief got diagnosed with COVID, Steve Letarte came in to fill that void. And sucks he had a rear end issue, and as a result, he was out of the race. And speaking of drivers that had major issues, well, we gotta talk about the 23 car, Bubba Wallace. Man, jeez Louise. It's like seems like he was on pace to have a decent day, but then one oil leak later, his day began to fall apart. Like I said, 2311 is a learning curve for this team, for Bubba Wallace. But hopefully they can get these issues fixed. I mean, most of these bad finishes for Bubba isn't entirely his fault. It was mostly due to mechanical issues. So, yeah, that's all I can say on that one. Now let's talk about the playoff. Let's talk about the points. All right, let's talk about playoff standings here. In first place is Denny Hamlin with 187. In second place, outfitting, is the daredevil from Michigan, Brett Keselowski, with 149. Not that far from him, with 2-point difference. 147, it's Kyle Larson from Hendrick Motorsports. I'm still getting used to saying that. A few points behind him, it's Mr. Popularity himself, your defending champion, Chase Elliott, with 139. 1 point behind him, it's Christopher Bell. It's Christopher Bell. Oh, it's a tie. He's also tied with Joey Logano. Both with 138. And with 136 in 7th, Kevin Harvick. Boy, hopefully he picks up his pace and whoops. And 5 points behind him, it's the Jersey Maniac, Martin Truex Jr. with 131. In 9th place. And now I think this is where the team's starting to see a decline here, is Michael McDowell. And in 10th place, Harvick had 136, Truex had 131, McDowell had 126, and at 122, it's Kurt Busch with 126. So that's going to do it, guys. So it's still relatively early, and now as we head to Phoenix, thank you guys, and I'll see you back here post-checker flag in the desert sun. Now, if y'all excuse me, I need to go buy some Kyle Larson merch.